Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So, good morning, everyone. As you know, this is our weekly podcast, The Migration Truth. Here we tell you all that you need to know. We're not telling you lies. We tell you all the realities that you're most likely going to meet when you travel abroad, but the good side and all the realities about it. So we don't sugarcoat it. We just tell you the way it is. I have myself here in Nigeria, speaking from the African side, and then our friends there abroad in Germany, in Italy, and other parts of Europe, telling us the reality of ground and what it's like. But again, not to scare you, you can see my friend. I can also tell you that abroad is there's nothing really scary about abroad. You just need to know what is there. So, thank you so much for joining us today. And today I have DK with me, and he's going to be introducing himself very shortly. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. This is the wonderful work that you've been doing. My name is DK Buka, and I am living in Italy. Actually, I'm studying at the University of Salerno, studying smart industry engineering. And I moved abroad in 2024, in November. Is it November? No, October 2024. I moved to Italy to study. So that's me. It's not been easy, but then we are trying to find our feet.
No, the DK, the truth of the matter is, for every single time you've appeared on this show, you've looked better, you've looked fresher, and this is even much better now that your madam moved over. I don't know. So when you say not being easy, what exactly is not being easy?
uh, the truth is not easy. You understand? The truth is not easy. But I think what people see, it looks easy. But in reality, it's not as easy as we see it. You know, most times we don't bring the bad part online, or maybe we don't say the bad part out, but we only let you see at when we are progressing. And that is really, really what people see. People don't see the grinding. They only see the progress, or maybe the new step that you have attained. So most time that is what people see, but they don't see what has been done on the ground. So when I say it's not been easy, it's talking about moving abroad, integrating, knowing what is different here from home. From home, there's always going to be something different, and of course, uh, since you are not in a familiar country that you know before, not like your African or West African background, here it's kind of different. The bureaucracy, the laws, a lot of things. Yeah. So when I say it's not easy, it's just because there is a huge difference from where we are coming and to where we are right now. So there's going to be a lot to do financially, legally, to find your feet. So that's what I mean by it's not easy, just because we need to integrate, find different ways of living, not the regular food we eat and the rest of the things. So it's not just about what we see. I mean, we tried not to look like what we are going through. Are you with me?
All right.
Are you there? Are you with me? Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, the thing is, you can't hide it. What is on your inside is what reflects on the outside. So you're just trying to be humble, but well, we understand that. That's fine. Now, I would you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I think there is a
Can you
delay in
hear
the
me?
network. Yeah, I can hear you. Mm, mm. So, guys, it's really, really not the way a lot of people see it. It's kind of different, but then, uh, of course, we all know that there's a better life, or maybe there are greener pastures that we can always find. Michael, you're back. Okay,
Yes, I'm
you
back.
went off
Yeah,
earlier.
I was having there was a slight glitch with the network here. So now, yeah,
Okay.
I've had all of that. I was trying to say that yes, you're trying to. We appreciate the fact that you're trying to be humble, and that's fine. That's very fine. But again, okay, talking about stability abroad. How much does it cost to be stable?
When you say how much, is it in terms of cash or in terms of mental health? Yeah, struggles. It costs a lot actually. It doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a year. It doesn't happen. Maybe it doesn't happen even in 2 years. Not even in three. So when you mean how much, it's not about really maybe how much you have in your bank account or how much you had before you came over. Because of course, if you are stable somewhere else, you would hardly want to move over to another place. And when you move over to somewhere else, stability there does not really mean what you came with. It actually means, integrating, having something, the change of lifestyle. It takes a while for someone to really, really change the lifestyle and then integrate into the new community and find ways to better their lives or maybe improve the community they are find themselves inside. So stability may not really, really happen as quick as possible. And when we're trying to quantify it or maybe asking of how much it costs, it can be different for different countries and for different people and with different mentality and different mindset. Most people in Africa, when they move abroad, it's always about to make money, make money, make money. So when you come abroad, you really do not achieve your potential. Maybe there is something really, really you love to do, but then coming abroad makes you change all of that. So it really takes a lot for somebody to find stability abroad.
Now, like now, it takes a lot. Like you just mentioned, maybe like cultural integration. That's one of the main things
Yeah,
there. How to get used to your new environment, to the people, and all of that. And I
yeah.
also understand that somehow you also have to trade community life for some reasonable level of independence because you have to be on your own. And then sometimes, how much does all this does it cost you? You left Nigeria for a few years ago. What is the difference in terms of the community life? How much has it cost you, like trying to get used to the new life in Italy and all that? What are the things that you need to trade off to get set some other things?
The thing is, first of all, we are not going to talk about the cultural lifestyle first because when you move abroad, you got the visa and you move abroad. The visa gives you probably a long stay of 1 year. But when you come here, you need some legal documentations to stay. So first of all, you plan that your stay is long enough for you to integrate because you don't come here so you can find another place to move to. Maybe that's your plan. Maybe you come here so you could use here as a stepping stone to move somewhere else. So your stability does not even start immediately. You may not really, really care about the cultural values or maybe the language, the food. You may not really care about that first if your plan is to come here and then use it as a stepping stone to go somewhere else. Most people, when they move abroad, and especially in the European countries where many of them don't speak English, the thing is for them to, okay, I am moving to a particular country and then from there I move to US, I move to Canada, maybe to UK. You can take that step as well. So that means you really do not care about the language because you want somewhere else where they speak the language you understand easily. So then your stability has not even started yet. But first of all, stability in general, it does not really mean the absence of conflict or maybe the presence of a developed country. Your stability here starts with your legal documentation. And then there is a social life, there is mental health, there is financial independence. These are the things you need to attain before you start talking about stability, before you start finding your feet in the country where you are. So maybe I could take more questions, or if you want, I could just break things down for you or
Yeah,
for
okay.
our viewers.
Yeah, from what you're saying is somehow to an extent, your stability starts from the point of planning your trip, also your migration to the country. It also informs
Exactly.
how stable you can be in the long run.
Exactly, exactly. I would
Mhm.
say also because there are a lot of people who come here, and on the first day they got here, they got into trouble.
Mm.
The first
Yeah,
day, when you just get to the airport, you can get into trouble immediately. You could be deported immediately. You could get into the train or into the bus without a bus ticket, without a train ticket, and then the police comes in and say, "Ah, where's your train ticket?" And you're not able to even buy a ticket yet. You get fined, so you can be stabilized immediately you arrive. So, and that would even that will even take a toll on your
so which
mental health.
I think it makes a lot of it makes a lot of sense because level of preparation from your home country has a lot to do with how quick you can settle in where your new country, your host country.
Yes, in that sense, it talks about the mindset. Because once you arrive and your mindset is, I'm not going here to stay, I'm going here so I can move somewhere else, your stability has not even started. Because this is not where you want to find your feet. You still want to go somewhere else. So you don't even plan a lot with the country you are entering in, your first country of entrance. You're not even planning a lot with that country. But then the good thing is, when you come in that country, you need to understand their laws. The first thing to do is to understand the law of the country. Your visa does not mean that if your visa is for 1 year, 2 years, or it does not mean you must necessarily stay that 2 years before you can be deported. You can
Yeah.
be they can let you off immediately. That's if you commit a crime. Now, another problem with that is, we from Africa, we're not really given a long time stay at the first instance. You're given 1 year. Now, in that 1 year, you need to plan about how you can stay further. So if you're given such a short visa and you want to find the stability in that 1 year, it doesn't work that way. Because when you come, you have to find a way to get your permit to stay, and then you need to find, if you're coming for university education, you need to find a way to integrate into the university, learn the new style of teaching. Because I give an example. In my university here, we don't do exams like in 2 weeks, everyone comes out, take their exams, you read for 8 subjects, you take all the exams at once. No. Here you can take 2 months to do your exam. You can take, as long as you're still in the university, you can do your exam anytime that you're ready. Now the
Wow.
exam is not even written exam that you go into the class, everyone sits down, you write. Maybe if you don't understand something, you can quickly peep your friend and ask. No, you are sitting down and facing your professor, and you are speaking to him. He's asking you questions, you are answering. You understand? And if he asks you a question and you're not able to answer immediately, it looks already like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not really good. He doesn't really know the thing. So you are reducing your marks already. So with that, you need to understand the way they study here, the way they answer their questions, the way they take their exams, the way they need you to reply them when they ask you a question. So first of all, these are already a lot for you to do. So I'm giving an example for students who come here and then try to say it is really difficult to find stability. So, like I said, the first is your legal stability. You need to find a way to get all your documents ready, and most importantly, have a screenshot of all your documents on your phone. There are sometimes you may be going out and you forget your ID card, and then you get into trouble. The first thing the police asks you, ID, please. Where is your ID card? Or how can we identify you? You need to give them something. So then imagine someone who the visa has expired and has not applied for the new permit. In that case, he is staying illegally. So anything can happen at that point. So the first thing to do is your stay, your legal stay. Make sure that you are here legally, That is making sure that you apply for the permit, and then also maybe for the identity card, because there's always an identity card for everyone. And then there's always a permit to stay here as well. So these are the things. There's risk of deportation because your visa is just 1 year. For studies, they don't give you 2 years immediately, they give you 1 year, and then you come here, you renew your stay. So these are already the first part. When you land in the airport, you, like I said, you could already get into trouble, but then it could be managed from when you are coming down to the country. You already book your train tickets, you already book your flight tickets, so you make sure that you are arriving at the place where you say you will be arriving when you come here. For university students, sometimes they take a Airbnb, or probably rent, pay for a hotel to stay for 2 weeks and then use some time to find house around. And there are also students who can also get scholarships, and then there's already accommodation waiting for you. And this is my case. There was already accommodation waiting for me here, and when I came, I just entered into my room. So it could be like that as well. So it depends on how you already planned your landing. There need to be a soft landing, or maybe you know someone here already. He could accommodate you maybe for a day or two, or maybe for a week, and then you can find your own place to stay, and then you start, living and start finding your university, your classes, and then start your life. Then there is also integration into the community, the social life, the food. You know, you may come here with your foodstuffs, but then the idea of I need pepper, I'm going out to get pepper from outside. It's not here. You don't see stores scattered around the community where you can easily just run out. Everything you want to buy, you buy from the mall or from the store before you get to your house. And these things are not just beside your house. You need to maybe sometimes take a train or a bus to the mall and then buy the things you need to buy. And then, if this foodstuffs you have come with, if they're finished, what would you go to? So you need to have a blend of eating the kind of food they eat here, and then also with the one before, and then begin there to integrate. The next is learning the language, which is really, 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 really important. You cannot do anything without communication. If police gets you today and they ask you a question you could not answer in the language they understand, they just get angry. Yeah, yeah, they easily get angry because we cannot communicate. I can't hear you, you can't hear me. You speak what I don't understand, I speak what you don't understand. They can decide anything at that point. They could also decide a higher fine for you just because you can't speak their language. When you get into trouble, like I mentioned an example, the bus ticket. If you enter the bus and you don't have a ticket, and they ask you where is the bus ticket, and you cannot answer properly, or maybe you don't even have the bus ticket in the first place to explain yourself. The fact that you cannot even communicate or express yourself, they increase your like your fine could be increased, because it is how they feel at the moment. They just write a ticket for you. So these are really, really the things that someone needs to, put in place and, understand before moving abroad. There are more, because there's also financial stability. And this is not something you can attain in the first 1 year. You cannot attain financial stability. But I think there are a lot of expectations from people abroad, back home. But then the reality is different. You cannot attain this financial stability or financial independence when you move here in 1 year. There are things you could do that you were not doing before in Nigeria, or maybe in Africa. There are things you could do more, but then you need to understand also that if anything happens to you, your source of income cannot come back from where you are coming from. You can't even call somebody back home. It rarely happens that you call somebody back home. I'm into trouble. I have a health issue. Please, can you send me money? It's a rare occasion that you find people who go back home to ask for financial assistance. So a lot of things are into these things that people don't really understand. So financial stability, mental health stability, legal stability, cultural and social life stability. These are a lot of the things that you need to, put in place before you find your feet. And also, like I mentioned, your plan of stay. Do you want to stay 1 year? Is this country a stepping stone for you to go into another country? A lot of things. Yeah. So I think maybe we'll take more questions and
Now,
I could explain better.
it's just making a lot of sense because, like they'll always say, is it sometimes almost time it's good to cross the bridge before you get to it. You know,
Okay.
and I think what we are doing here, if you were privileged to maybe listen to much of what you are doing, it's like the kind of things that our elder brothers, elderly ones go through on our behalf. You know, they
Exactly.
make the path easier. For them, it's rougher.
Exactly.
And as we are coming, it becomes easier. And I think that's what the likes of you and Mike and every other person over there in Europe are doing to our brothers in other parts of Africa. So it makes it a lot easier for them to come because they know what to expect when they come. Unlike, because you said something here that you could get deported from the airport right at the airport. As you are just
Course.
arriving, they ask you to go back.
Exactly. Exactly. It happens 100%. It happens. Like it happens really.
Wow.
It's real. Like you just come, you could just come and then they find something in your bag, which you don't even know how it got into your bag. And you see
Yeah.
most people when they travel abroad, they are very cautious of this. They try to wrap their bag with a kind of nylon. They wrap it completely so that nobody puts anything inside their bag. This is one of the occasions where you can be deported immediately. Sometimes it could be your fault, sometimes it could not. It's not your fault, but then deportation is reality. It could happen. You just go back. They don't even want to investigate you because you're just coming. You don't even know where you are going. They don't even know the next place to take you to. So right from that airport, they just, okay, just go back. We don't want to stress you. We don't want you to stress us. Just go back. We found this and we think this is what it is. Whatever you want to explain to us, you can explain via the embassy again, and then they just send you back.
Now, so if I heard you correctly, now stability also has a lot to do with proper documentation. Proper
Exactly.
documentation. There's no
Exactly.
point lying in your documents about your source of financing, about accommodation, about every other information. If you lie, by the time you get to your host country, host nation, somehow they'll fish you out, and
Yeah,
it might not
exactly.
go.
Because the thing is, the first thing is you are coming abroad. How are you coming? There are a lot of
Yeah.
people who come through the sea, and then the first thing, if they are rescued out of the sea, the government takes care of them. Especially here in this country, the government, takes care of them when they are rescued from the sea. They put them in
Mm.
camps and make sure that, okay, they could ask for asylum, they could ask for one or two things, and then the government from there can help them find their feet. But then the lifestyle is really, really difficult, and even in that kind of route, you may take 5 to 6 years to find stability because you don't even have documents. They need to start finding you a job, for you to have legal documents here, or maybe for you to apply for your permit. You need your house contract. You must have gotten a house. You must have gotten probably a job or university education. Let's say this is why you have come here. You have come here to study, and then you need the study documents. You have come here, and this is where you live. You need your house documents. So these are places where you will get enough documents for you to even apply for the permit to stay. So if you don't even have that at first, how would you even apply?
Mm.
So there is a lot on both sides. You need to have this document before you can apply. And then for you to have them, that means there is a meaning for you coming over here. There's a purpose for you coming over here. And when you get here, that purpose will help you get this document, and then you can apply for further stay.
Okay, so well, makes a lot of sense. So it means proper documentation has a lot to do with how fast you can settle in and become
Yeah.
stable abroad. Now,
Yes,
also your understanding of the system and how to navigate it.
exactly. How to navigate the system. There's no manipulation here. No manipulation. Everything is documented. We need this, you give it to us. This is what you need to apply for this. You have to bring it. There is no two ways. There's not, if you don't have this, you can bring this. No. We need this, is what we use. You have to give us this one. You are here to study. You need your study documents. You need your enrollment form. You need your admission letters. You need your scholarship letters. You need this thing. If you are here to study, these are the things they require from you. They don't tell you, okay, you are here to study, but you don't have admission document. How did it happen? You must bring your admission documents. You must bring a document that says this is how much you have, or maybe this is your financial standing. Okay, for people who come here with scholarship, they already have the scholarship taken care of them. So you need that scholarship documentation as well to apply for the permit. And if you come here without scholarship, you already have some amount in your account before the embassy allows you move over.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
still need to show your financial stability for that period of stay you are coming. So you still need to show that to them. And then you need to show the documentation of your admission, maybe the enrollment, and then the admission letter to apply or to ask for the stay. So you need all these documents, and that is just one part of the legal part. Is just one part of the stability, or why you need, or how you can attain stability. So first is that legal documentation, and then your cultural lifestyle, how you integrate. You must learn the language, like I said earlier. How would you communicate? Even your teacher most time don't even understand the English very well. So they want you to, even the English that you speak, you still need to be a bit, let's say, moderate about it, that you have to speak in the way that they can understand as well. You don't speak fast. You speak really slow. In the English that you say you understand, speak it slow so that they can understand. But if they speak their language to you, they don't care if you understand or not. They speak it really fast until you tell them, please, can you speak slowly so I can understand? And that is even when you have started understanding the ABCD, started learning the basics. So you can easily take your time to, okay, put two things together and say, okay, this is what she's talking about. And then you can reply. So language is really, really, really important. When I got here, I spoke to one of my friends. It's been difficult for me because I can't speak the language. When you go out, especially in the community where I am, it's not really, really. There are not so many. Well, I say immigrants, but then people who come here, they try to speak the language. In churches, the the masses are in Italian.
Hmm.
So you probably don't hear anything from the beginning to the end of the mass, from the first time. So how would you even communicate with people after mass and then try to find your community people? So you need that language. And then maybe probably you have learned a bit of it and you started speaking a little of it. That is when you start having friends. People can start coming close to you. And then there's also this how will I wouldn't term it racism, but then there's kind of segregation. There's kind of class. And it's not really because of racism, but because of what someone has been used to. Like where you are, where you grow up from, your friends. You can easily go to your friend's house, ask them, "Oh, guy, what's up? What's going on? How is it going?" But an indigenous does not come to you as a foreigner and just come and meet you and say, "Ah, what's up? How is it going?" Where did that start from? You need to speak their language. You need to be their friend before you can. So there's going to be loneliness as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be loneliness as well in the first, and when you come, it's going to be loneliness. And then when you start speaking the language, that's when you start making friends. Or maybe somebody who is really interested in speaking the language that you understand. He may have learned it before, or he may have understood the language and then he could communicate. And there are also people who are kind to help you settle.
Mm, mm.
Like also in the church community, people also, how you doing? Is it going well for you? Sometimes you could have a WhatsApp group and some of the indigens will be added and they try to help you navigate the buses, how to take the buses. Even in classes, sometimes when you learn the language, they teach you how to book buses because everything is written in Italian. Also
Wow.
online, unless you
Mm.
try to translate and then you could see in English. But then the first thing you say, it's in the language of the country, and then maybe you translate. But then if you keep translating, how would you integrate?
Yeah, yeah,
Also, integration into the food. Like I said earlier, you need to eat their food. When you visit people's houses, you don't tell them, no, I want Nigerian food.
yeah,
Where would they get it from? You need
yeah.
to eat their food. You need to be able to eat their food. Like where I study, we have a restaurant. It's called the Mensa. In Mensa, they don't cook Nigerian food. They don't cook African dishes. They cook what they know. So you have to find a way to eat there. And again, there is also pizza, which is their, I think, their indigenous food. You have to find a way to eat it too. It may not be like the way we prepare it back home because it's not our style, but it's a style here. So you need to find a way to eat their food so you can stay with them. You can have a beer with them. You can gist with a lot of people. These things takes time. It doesn't happen the day you arrive. It doesn't happen 1 week after you. It doesn't happen 6 months. I- In 1 year, you are still trying to make friends, and people have a way of separating separate colors, separate social background, separate financial background. People have a way of doing that. And then also, you need to start finding your own people who are around, your own community people. Let's say there are people from Africa who you could find around. You need to start knowing them, knowing how they came here, what they are doing here, what they try to achieve later. You fit into their own goals, and then you try to express your own goals into them and find a way to harmonize these things so that all of you can maybe probably find a way to achieve things together. So this will
Mm.
help you move really fast again.
Well, okay. Well, our time is fast spent. This is supposed to last for 30 minutes, and now it's
Really.
just 32 minutes now. So you never know time is passing because there's a lot to talk about always.
Honestly, because we've not even talked about economy. The kind of job you could easily do first, because
Yeah.
first of all, you don't land your dream job immediately. You're going to do a lot of menial jobs. You're going to
Okay.
take a lot of things. You want to
Yeah.
say something?
Yeah. So maybe we can talk about that in our subsequent sessions.
Sure, sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
we can
sure,
talk
sure,
about that
sure.
another time. Yes. So for I want to thank our audience for being part of this session today. I want to thank our friend, a friend of this show, DK, who obliged to be part of this session today. Thank you so much for showing up. We know it wasn't easy. Everything costs. Everything costs you a lot. Time is also expensive. Everything
Time is really expensive. Time is really
everything is
expensive.
measured.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually.
So yes, now we've spoken a lot today, and we can't exhaust all. The list is inexhaustible, so we can't exhaust it. But for more on this, this is why we have the platform Settling. Settling is going to help you know all of this before you cross over from your home country to your host country. And that is why Settling exists. We exist to provide all of this support. What you need to know, not like you were told by maybe agents and all that, but the truth, the whole truth about what to expect and how best to navigate your way before you travel abroad, when you travel abroad, and even the long stay out, your plans thereafter, everything that happens, Settling is here to help you navigate your way through all of this. I can't thank you enough for being part of this show today, DK. I don't know if you have your last words for the day for our audience, and then we close up.
Yeah, of course. Like the name implies, the truth about this is just, we just give everybody the truth. Migration truth. This is just what we do here. We give you the truth raw, just as we have experienced, just as we have learned from people who have experienced these practical things. So all of what we have said here are things that are happening live that we have seen, or things that have happened to us individually. So most of the things we say here, we don't just manufacture them, as you could hear, or these are real things. So this is what we do on the show. I'm really, really always happy to come on the show to, express myself and teach people these things so that people could understand. When you also came on, you were trying to say I look better and better and better. It takes time, actually. So it does not really, really talk about the looks, but also the work that was done, to get to this stage. And then this is
Yeah.
not even the destination we are trying to get to. We're trying to get further. We're trying to do better. And then every day we learn. So these are the things we also teach on settling. I try to be on settling most times so that I could answer a lot of questions and meet new people and try to find a way to help people, because I got really good help when I got here as well. There are a lot of people who helped me. So I need to give back to the community as well. So on
Yeah.
settling, we are always doing this. And I hope that people find a way to, click into this, and it will help them a lot in finding their stability, just like we have talked a lot on today. So,
All right.
guys, I really want. I'm really happy to always come here to teach and all. Say a lot of these things so that people could understand the way it is practically.
All
So
right.
thank you. I am DK Ibuka. Always, I am studying at the University of Salerno, studying smart industrial engineering. So as engineers as well, we need to do things properly. So these are the things we teach as well too. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I hope Elton is going to be providing us with a link for settling for those who want to sign up so they can use the link and sign up. Thank you once again.
Yeah.
And that will be all for today. Bye for now. See you again next weekend.
Thank you
Bye.
very much. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.